going on, guys? Welcome to Frank's Media and Reviews, and welcome to my 8th episode of the Physical Media Club. This is the video series where I get to know and introduce to you guys some wonderful people who are in the physical media world, the horror genre, and film reviewers. Today's guests started their YouTube channel back in 2020 with their love and passion for the horror genre and their inclusivity for everyone. Their channel has grown close to 9,000 subscribers. I love this couple so damn much as they bring so much positivity to the horror community. Plus, it doesn't hurt that Ashley is married to James McAvoy doppelganger. Ladies and gentlemen, Ashley and Ken from Sledgehammer Horror.
That is fantastic.
I'm a lucky lady. What can I say?
Oh, well,
that's his exact body too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I know. I hardly edited anything, guys. Just
No.
so you know.
Right, yeah.
I mean, maybe something on the face, but that.
Yeah, the face, I need a little fix, but
Yeah. What's going on, guys? What's going on?
very happy to be here, man.
Yeah,
We
we're
were
excited.
Yeah,
so stoked. When we got the invite, we were just over the moon.
yeah,
man.
thank you guys for joining the channel, and for my people to introduce to you guys. You guys have been on one or two of my episodes, and I've been on your channel as well. So again, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I just love it. For those who don't know you, let's get to know you. Tell me a little bit about yourself, guys.
So we are a couple that, well, he kind of started Sledgehammer Horror back when the pandemic was going on, and I'm more of like the introvert of us, and I was kind of like behind the scenes, like giving him ideas, and he was like, "Why don't you do this with me?" And I was like, "No, I can't be in front of a camera." Like, and it took me a long time to feel comfortable in front of a camera, and then this is kind of like something that we get to do together, and we bond with horror. So yeah,
I get to work with my best friend.
yeah. So
like it's and that's not a lie. Like she was like, "Hey, I got an idea for this segment or this segment," and finally I was just like, "I'm not doing them unless you do them with me."
and I was like, I guess you're not doing it then, because there's no way. And I got so mad at him because I'm my worst critic, and I was like, I told you I suck, and now I look stupid. And he's like, you were fine.
She's grown so much.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like I'm a big daddy bird. Watch my little bird fly away and become her own. And she's so great at everything she does. And it's an honor to get to work with her. It's an honor to get to be her partner in life and in Sledgehammer Horror. And for 20 years we've been kicking ass together.
We've been rocking it out. Yeah. So
it's like I said, I get to wake up every day and hang out with my best friend. I get to work with my best friend. And it keeps your drive going. Like on days, there's been plenty of days where I've been like, I kind of want to take a break today. And she's like, babe, we got to do this.
Yeah.
She keeps the drive going, and vice versa.
We go both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We definitely go both ways.
Whoa!
It can definitely be draining sometimes, and so to have somebody that's your partner to be there to be like, we got this, we can do this. We're lucky to have each other like that.
Absolutely, we are. Yeah.
Yeah, that was beautiful, guys. Holy crap.
Thank
I
you.
wasn't expecting that. So in this video, in this interview, I will ask you guys some icebreaker questions, and then I'll just kind of go into the interview process. Also, guys, I will have their links down in the description section. So, Twitter, Instagram, obviously the YouTube channel, and of course, hit that like and subscribe button, guys. If you do, I really appreciate it. And check out my tier memberships. Got to do a little plug.
Absolutely.
Hey, can I plug something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, buddy.
I'm also going to send Frank Ashley's Face of Horror contest. Ashley's in the top 15 now for the Face of Horror contest. Use your votes every day. Free vote every day. You can vote for her through Facebook. Please do. I'm so proud of how far she's gone. She's gone through like 3 rounds already, and she's won all 3 rounds. So
nice.
Please vote for her. She's kicking ass. She's doing such a good job. Use your free votes every single day. Get her as the new Face of Horror, and get me 13 grand.
Yeah. Yeah, that link will be down in the description section as well, guys. So
Thank you.
vote, damn it. So my first icebreaker question is, you guys have been married for 20 years, correct?
Mhm.
Yes.
What is your favorite memory that you have uh, with your partner within that span? Because I don't know how long you guys have been together.
Favorite
But
memory would be 20 years and 6 months ago before we met, and I was a
Oh
free
my
man.
gosh, for real. Thank you for saying that. Yes. Those were the days. No.
Having our kids.
Yeah. I mean, we have 3 children
yeah.
together, and
We have a
that's probably
16-year-old, a 12-year-old, and a 4-year-old, and
probably my greatest accomplishment
Easily.
in life.
easily.
Yeah, are our children. But like something
Just us.
just us.
I don't know, just all the it's hard to name just one, because like accomplishments to me are so different. Like accomplishments to me have nothing to do with monetary stuff. Like the fact that we're able to take our kids on a family vacation every year.
Yeah.
And we always go to different places so our kids could experience different parts of the United States. The very first date we went on was to go see War of the Worlds. Just the way that we used to drive around and smoke cigarettes and listen to music when we were first dating, and just getting to know each other, or going way down there, how we would two-way each other on Nextel phones, at 2 a.m. Abs, are you awake?
Nice.
Because before we got together, we were best friends.
Yeah.
Like there was never a sexual attraction between us for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We were just really, really, really good friends. And
wait, you weren't attracted to me?
Oh, I was attracted to you.
Dang. Tell it all.
I had such a crush on you.
Juicy interview, guys.
Yeah, this is actually an intervention.
Yeah. I thought you were really ugly, but your personality really it enhanced it.
Stop it.
So,
no.
If anything,
it was the opposite. You were really pretty, then I got to know you and I was like, ooh.
I'm leaving.
No, and this is another memory, thing with us is I'm able to joke with my wife still. I'm still able to joke and laugh and have fun, and
at my expense.
To be fair, 9 times out of 10 it's the other way around.
It really
I'm
is,
usually the butt of the joke, but I love it, and things like that, being able to watch my wife walk down that aisle to me, being a minister and performing her mother's wedding was something so special to me. Ashley's mom and her wife got married, and to be the minister, I cried watching my mom, my mother-in-law walk down the aisle, because that family is my family. That's what I have now, is them. And like being able to do all these things that we've shared in this life that we've built, like it's fucking incredible, man. Like it is so sick. And then to be able to do horror stuff all the time with my wife, and go to conventions and being able to interview people, and it's truly a blessing that we don't ever take for granted.
Yeah, it's really the only thing that we have in common is that we both love horror, and our children.
Kids.
That's like the only thing. It. Yeah.
She listens to shitty music.
No, other way around, buddy.
It sounds like my wife. Yeah, exactly. What is the most memorable moment you had with your children?
With each one?
You pick. The floor is yours.
My most memorable moment with my son is probably watching him win state championship in wrestling.
Yeah. That's
he's a 2-time state champion in wrestling. So to watch him get both his rings was truly incredible.
Our middle child, she's really into like acting, and
I was gonna say having her in Home Is Where the Haunt Is. Or watch. We didn't get to watch the play though.
But we got to
watch a recording of it.
Yeah, but being able to be there and like practice the lines, and just see her, her face light up when she gets everything right. Like,
another big one with Chloe, our middle child, is when she was doing panels at GhoulieCon. When she got to be up on the panel with us about filmmaking. That was cool because she was in Home Is Where the Haunt Is, the short film we made. Has the biggest role in the upcoming short film we're doing called Psychasthenia. She's definitely the actor of our kids.
She's like our artistic kid.
Yeah.
And then our youngest, she loves dance.
Loves to dance. Loves cheerleading.
Yeah.
Loves gymnastics.
She's kind of like has to have everybody's attention, like has to be the center of attention. And if you're giving anybody else attention, she's like,
no.
"Oh, you didn't think I did that good." It's like, why is everything a competition?
My favorite memory with my youngest, though, it was leaving Abigail. We took her to see Abigail.
Oh my gosh.
And we were walking out to the parking lot. And she was like, "Daddy." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Sammy, those are fucking onions." And it was she said it so good. And like she waited the whole movie.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Just to be able to say it out in the parking lot. And,
yeah, that's her for sure.
Yeah.
She says anything and everything. And
because we had gone to see Abigail on the Friday it came out.
Yeah.
And then we took our girls to see it on the Sunday because we wanted to kind of watch it first and make sure. And we were like, yeah,
sure.
we're going to dig it. And now Kenley's going to be Abigail for Halloween.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. That's fantastic, man. Oh my gosh. That is a great story, man. That's really good.
Oh,
man.
it was hilarious the way she said it too, man.
Yeah, that sounds like she's a thespian in the family. So why next will just be about your journey, guys. Why did you start your YouTube channel?
Ashley was tired of looking at me.
Yeah, we were stuck in a house together for far too long.
Sledgehammer Horror really started with my first horror movie, the segment that we do. And that's been something. I grew up in a video store. My parents owned a mom and pop video store called Downtown Video. So movies have always been super important to me. And horror has always been like the area that I gravitated to. And I used to ask people that at like campfires and shit, you know, bonfires and hanging out with our friends and drinking and stuff. Like we just start talking about the first horror movie people watched and why they like horror and what got them started. And I was like, you know, I was laid off from work at the time during the pandemic, and Ashley was like, find a hobby, bum. And I was like, nobody would want to come on and do this. This is not something people would want to do. And I reached out to Josh Eppard, the drummer from Coheed and Cambria, and he was like, yeah, I'm in, let's do it. And I was like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here, man. So like that, after that, I was like, this might be something cool. And
yeah, absolutely.
Now 600 episodes later, you know, it's just like, I still love it. Like, I still love to talk to people about their first horror movie.
Yeah. Well, because every time you talk to somebody, it's a different experience. Not everyone has the same experience. So
I could talk about Nightmare on Elm Street 100 times
Mm-hmm.
and have 100 different stories because nobody's going to have the same personal experience as someone else had watching it for the first time.
Right.
And so like stuff like that. And then getting to go, like, we just met Tom Adkins. And
I saw that. Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Dude, he's so funny. And I got to ask him about his first horror movie, you know, and it was just stuff like that to me is so like, as they're talking, I'm like, this is so nuts. Lulu Wilson was another huge one because Ashley and I have been fans of Lulu Wilson since she was a young kid. I can't believe she's 18 now. That's insane. But
she was super kind.
Oh, and her mom was amazing. She was amazing. So, you know, and that's a huge part of it, you know, and then getting to start and then, you know, bothering Ashley because she came up with the idea for Versus. She came up with the idea for Didn't See That Coming. And I
just wanted to be like design stuff and like come up with things. Like I didn't want to be like in front of the camera.
And I was not having it. I was like, you're too funny. Like, people that are watching that, if you haven't seen anything Sledgehammer Horror does, I implore you to go watch our Didn't See That Coming episode on Sinister. We left a blooper in the actual episode.
I thought you were going to say like one of our first ones. I was like, please do not go watch that. That's cringy. Please do not.
But if you watch the Sinister episode, we left a blooper because I don't proofread anything Ashley does. I don't anything that's Versus, anything that's Didn't See That Coming, reviews. Ashley writes it all, and I read off a prompter. You know, like that's it. And he wrote a joke into our Sinister episode, and I read it, and I just start busting up laughing.
It wasn't a joke; like that was real life.
Yeah, but like I read it, and I just started busting up laughing during the episode, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder who wrote this script." You know, and it's just like I trust her. You know, I don't ever read what she writes. We put it up, I read it as we're reviewing it. That's it. Obviously, like when it's reviews or stuff, like we give our, you know, I think this is a positive. I think this is a negative. I think we should talk about this. but she puts it all like she's more articulate than I am. And so when it comes to writing, she's way better at writing the stuff than I am.
You just write like 2 words, and I'm like, what is this? What are we
Typical
saying?
man. No.
Yeah. Like, I have,
My wife
like,
gets on me all the
an
time.
entire paragraph and like explanations, and
I'll be like, Alice's death.
yeah,
she'll be
and I'm like,
what about Alice's
yeah,
death?
what about it?
I'm like, come on, Ash, we've got to talk about it. She's like, this is why I write stuff, you fucking Neanderthal.
We're simple folk, man. We
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah. Was there a person that inspired you to start the channel?
Oh man, a lot. Dead Meat, huge influence. Found Flicks is a huge influence. Cody Leach is a huge influence on us. Sean Chandler was a big one. And then, you know, I love comedy channels too, and like we try to incorporate a lot of comedy. Like I love the Angry Video Game Nerd. I think James Rolfe is fantastic. I love Bruce Stu. I think Bruce Stu is so funny. SML, Super Mario Logan, I think is just so fucking funny.
Oh my gosh.
You know, stuff like that. And like I said, the two, I'd say my top 3 biggest horror influences on who like I gravitate to would be Dead Meat, Found Flicks, and Cody Leach. Those are kind of the big 3 for me when it comes to horror YouTube. I like them a lot. Found Flicks, I think, is one of the most, I mean, I know he has like 1 million subscribers now, but I still think that he's one of the most underrated channels in the world. Like not enough people talk about Found Flicks and his ending explained videos and the depth that he goes into his writing. And Dead Meat is huge for a reason. You know, James, Chelsea, Zoran, that whole team is just amazing when it comes to writing and timing, and everything they do is just, it's so spot on. And it's so like their VHS episode just came out today for VHS Viral, and I'm laughing watching the whole episode. You know, like Zoran is so funny, and what he adds to the channel is so great. And then you got, like I said, you got Found Flicks and Cody that work by themselves, and they're still able to keep you entertained while being honest. They don't pander to an audience. So those would be my biggest influences on YouTube, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Since becoming YouTube content creators, how has the community support been for you guys?
Amazing.
Oh, amazing. The horror community is like the most kind, like they're just so thoughtful and like would do anything to help you succeed with your channel. I mean, you always have like a bad egg and everything, but for the most part, like the horror community is phenomenal. They're kind and like it feels like they want what's best for you. Just like you know, we want what's best for other people that are doing this, like you, Frank. We want what's best for you. Like we want you to succeed, because if you're succeeding, then we're succeeding in the horror.
And Ashley and I just try to be as inclusive as we possibly can. You know, we've always just been to where we don't give a shit about, you know, whether you're black, white, gay, straight, Muslim, Christian.
Yeah.
Like, we don't care.
You want to talk horror with us?
Yeah,
let's talk
we're
horror.
down
like
to
that's
talk
all
horror.
Yeah.
Some of my best friends are conservatives. Some of my best friends are liberals, and I love all of them just the same. You know? I think that we live in a world where we put too much emphasis on what people believe instead of who people are. And it's dangerous to live like that. So
yeah, for sure.
We all have our opinions, but we should judge people by the content of their character, not the politics they believe in. So, and the horror community is so good at doing that. They're so good at just being able to differentiate and be accepting of everybody.
Yeah, I always feel so like these are my people. Yeah. Like I always feel like welcomed, and like people actually want to like hang out with me, and you know, like it's a great feeling, because I feel like when I was a kid and I liked horror when I was young, it was weird. Like I was weird because of that. And then, you know, now it's cool. Scream made it cool.
I was just going to say, I think that the reason why everybody in the horror community is so kind and loving and accepting is because we're all fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like we're all dorks. We're all nerds.
We found our people.
But we found our other weirdos. We found our other hammerheads.
Yeah.
You know?
Hammerhead.
And once we find these people, because we're all so weird and we know how it feels to be the outcast, to be the weirdo, to be the unaccepted person, that once we do that, you don't want to ever have anybody else feel that way.
Even now, like where I work, nobody likes horror. Like they're like scared of it, and they always think that I'm odd because I love horror so much. But if they want like a good recommendation, they always come to me and ask me.
You want to tell them about the school?
Oh, the school,
the town that we live in.
Yeah, they contacted me because they were doing like their floats for homecoming. And one of the things was Friday the 13th, and they contacted me because they needed ideas to come up with this float, and I was like, I'm your girl, and I just
baby,
And she showed me, and I was like, some people would look at this like, what the fuck? And I look at this like it's a trophy.
They
got
like, you gotta do this, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do that, and they're
hopefully you took a picture with yourself with it, and
it was so cool, man, for them to call us and be like, it's just funny when they heard horror, they're like, get a hold of Kenny's mom and dad. Like they which is another cool thing, because when he was young, it was like, hey, you're Kenny and Ashley, because I was Kenny back then. Like, hey, you're Ken and Ashley's son. But now it's, hey, you're Kenny's dad, you're Kenny's mom. And we're like, we sure are. That's how it goes around this house.
Nice. Hell yeah. No, I mean, that is 100% true what you said, because it is something that what I love is that is exactly what you said. It's we love horror genre so much, is that like it's the something that like you shouldn't be watching, but you just love it so damn much, and you gravitate towards that and towards people who are in the same mind, like and you just want to get to know that person more, what type of horror they love, so then maybe you can better yourself within the genre. I mean, that's the thing that I started this channel, of course, is connecting people with physical media and then the horror genre, because I love talking about it. I love listening to people talk about it. It's just beautiful, man. So
yeah, it really is.
Speaking of which, you guys touch upon it just a little bit. How in the hell do you manage YouTube, going to conventions, and family time?
We don't sleep, like
we don't ever sleep.
No.
The big thing for us is
family's always number one. Like, our kids will always be number one, and they're, as long as they're taken care of, like, everything else falls into place. But we really have to lean on each other. Like, you're writing the review, you make dinner, like stuff like that. We really have to
we spend so much time together when we have our time, because here's another thing with Ashley and I. We work different shifts. I work first shift, she works third shift. So on the days that we get together, we definitely take advantage of that time and use it wisely. I don't know if I'm breaking the fourth wall here, Frank, but it's a Friday at 10:36 right now, Eastern time. And we told Frank we would love to do this, but it has to be after our son's football game.
Right.
Because usually we don't do anything on Fridays because it's football.
Yeah.
But Frank contacted us. We're like, dude, we love you. We want to do this so bad, but can you please do it late? And he was like, yeah, whatever, dickheads. And it's about how it went. The biggest thing for us is family is number one always. We never miss a dance recital. We never miss a football game. We never miss a wrestling meet. We never miss, Chloe's trying out basketball now. We've been going to the park once or twice a week to, go shoot hoops and try to build her stamina and her arm strength. She's writing a short novel right now, and she's coming to us wanting pointers and tips. And again, this is all something we were just talking about. Super Mario Logan, SML, the YouTube channel. Every time there's a new episode, we watch it together. Me and my girls will sit down and we'll watch it together. And yeah, people think, oh, it's bad parenting. I educate my children on the differences between right and wrong. They know what's an adult thing to say and what's a child thing to say. And if you hide your children from that stuff, I think that's bad parenting. But that's a whole different
it's definitely
subject.
Different. Yeah.
But
parent your kids however you want to.
Yes. Parent your kids however your kids are. Every child is different.
Yeah.
But for me, the short answer, family's always first. Whatever free time we have is, like she said, one of us will be cooking, the other will be writing, and we'll be sitting there talking about it. So yeah, just take your time and just always know that you can go to another convention. You can't go to another Onstead football game.
Yeah.
You can't go to another. Our son only has 2 years left, a year and a half now.
Yeah.
So I can't take one of these games for granted, and neither can she.
So you guys attend the horror conventions. Do you have a favorite fan interaction or experience? Because again, you guys, I think, are pretty popular within the horror community on YouTube, and so you guys had to have some great.
Just being acknowledged, like someone knowing who we are. I'm
weird.
just like wait, us? Like,
Yeah.
like that. I'm flattered. Like, oh, like, yeah, I'll take a picture with you. Like that really, like, it's just us, you know?
Another, and this is kind of two rolled into one, and I wouldn't say it's a fan interaction, but it made us feel super special. And they're both kind of the same story, but number one was David Howard Thornton, Art the Clown. You know, we did my first horror movie with him, and then we met him like a year later at Horror Hound, and we walked up to the table and he was like, Sledges! Like he totally remembered us.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Douglas Tate does a lot of stunt work for Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends.
So
a lot of he did the stunt work in Freddy vs. Jason. And, you know, he was like, Sledges, you know, we follow each other on Instagram, you know, and it was just like all these people are around at Horror Hound when he's doing this. So we're like, yeah, that's right. He does follow us. You know, and then like the big thing for us is like we got to take our daughters out to eat with Amy Donald, the young lady that played Megan. We've become very good friends. I'm not gonna say her mom's name out of respect, but we've become very good friends with her mother, who is one of the best moms in the horror community.
She's so great
and
kind.
Oh my gosh, and
like
just selfless.
They brought us a bunch of presents, and it was just so cool. Like
she was like, "You're one of the first people that before even Megan came out, you reached out to interview Amy." And the way that I always approach interviewing minors very cautiously. I let them know like, hey, I would love to do this, but I have to meet up with your parents first. I would prefer your parents be in the room during the interview because I know there's a lot of bad people out there. And when I reached out to her, she was like, the first thing I did was I went and stalked your guys' Instagrams. And
for sure.
I get it. I 100% get
it. Not offended at all.
You never know. You never know.
Right. And so
that's your kid.
That showed that to us was like, this speaks to her character. You know, like my daughter's safety and well-being is way more important. And that's what's so special to us about her. And our girls getting to go out, and my daughter, our middle daughter, Chloe, you know, became friends with Amy and stuff like that. Is just, that's way cooler than anything else.
Yeah,
watching our daughters smile when they get to meet Amy Donald, you know, like that's so sick.
Yeah.
That's wonderful, man. Thinking about your YouTube journey, how has your content evolved since you started? And then combining it just a little bit is because just you guys are pretty damn creative and you have so many different topics. How do you stay motivated and creative when brainstorming so many new video topics? Because again, you guys have a plethora of different video topics. So
well, for the first question, I feel like we've come a long way from the very first. My first horror movie was like in our living room with like light, like
literally like lamps.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Embarrassing.
It really
honestly.
Is. But yeah, like
the biggest thing I'll say to that.
We've gotten a lot of tips. Like, hey,
always take advice.
Yeah, from like people that have been doing this a lot longer than us, and we like positive criticism. Like, hey, your sound sounds like crap. Like, try this, or your lighting isn't great. Get better internet. Like, just things like that. Like, and we soak it all in because they're not being jerks to us. They want us to get better. Right. So
if you can't take criticism of any kind, YouTube is not the platform
absolutely
for
you. Not.
Hell no. Yeah.
Some of the stuff that people say, no.
You can't do it.
No. You have to have thick skin for sure.
But we also, I'm not going to name any names, but I just reached out to somebody today to try to give them advice on editing their episodes. And I started with, hey, I'm not trying to be an ass. I love what you do, but are you okay with some constructive criticism?
Mhm.
And then I went into, this is what I would do if I were you. And I sent them a screenshot of how I do it. And they were like, that makes so much sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's another thing. If somebody in the community is reaching out to you to try to help you, they're not doing it because they're condescending, or they're not doing it because they think you suck.
Right.
They're doing it because they care and they want you to get better.
Mhm.
And I think that the selflessness of this community to be able to, you know, cheer each other on and help each other out is awesome. So I think that we've grown exponentially better because of taking advice.
Yeah. And I mean, now like we had this, our studio was like literally like in our bedroom, and
We just bought a new house.
Yeah, we just bought a new house and we're working on our new studio now. Hopefully it'll be up and running here soon. So yeah, we've come a really long way.
Yeah.
And
the second question, Ashley's a fucking fountain
I
of
just I
don't
feel like
do
there's
it.
so much like
Don't do
there's
it.
so much content out there, and everybody has their own thing. You know, everyone has their own niche, and I just want us to have that.
She's always coming with these new ideas, like didn't see that coming versus
yeah, but
in defense of.
no, in defense of was you. That was 100% you, and that's actually my favorite.
Take some credit, Ken.
Yes, yeah. Like he always tries to give me all the credit, and it's not like that at all.
I don't do very. It's funny because I'm kind of the figurehead of Sledgehammer Horror because I'm the one that talks the most, and I do my first horror movies by myself. And
yeah,
I'm telling you, like this channel would not exist at all without her.
I don't believe it. I think you could do it.
We would have never done Didn't See That Coming. We would have never done Versus. We would have never done all these things to keep the channel going and keep it motivated. And that's another thing you asked about. What keeps us motivated is each other. You know, and then like watching our friends do these amazing things, and it's just like, wow, you guys are doing these amazing things, and we got to try to keep up with you guys. You know, like,
but with our own thing,
right, yeah.
Like we don't want to.
You'll never see us do a kill count.
No, nothing.
You know what I mean?
Like that.
Like that won't happen.
Yeah. We want to be our own, our own thing.
And on the flip side of that, I just talked about this the other day. I've had people reach out to me like, hey, do you mind if I do a My First Horror Movie episode, or if I do a segment about people's first horror movies? I don't own that.
Right.
Like, that's fine. The only thing that I ask is don't be like, welcome back to blah, blah, blah. I'm blah, blah, blah. And let's talk horror. Like,
you're interested.
Don't like, you know, like come up with your own style of questions, come up with your own segment of it. Like, don't completely rip off what we're doing. But I don't own talking to people about their first horror movie, and I love it. I love listening to people. So if you can talk to somebody about the first horror movie they watched, I'll listen to it because it's fun for me to see how that started for people. I do this because I love to hear it.
Unless you get better, then.
Unless you're better than me at it, then
then, no, you can't do it.
Exactly. What the hell? So do you guys collect physical media?
See, now we do, but like we collect off things. Like we don't collect. I mean, like obviously we have a big Blu-ray, VHS, DVD collection, but the physical media we collect. Like here's some of the things that I'm proud of. I've got the Evil Dead 2 score on vinyl. It's still in the casing with that amazing back on it.
Nice.
Another one that I'm super proud of is my Creepshow 2 score on vinyl.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Yeah. And now I think you guys are going to love this because this is an oldie. We have the Halloween score on VHS or on a cassette tape.
Cassette? Yeah.
And it's not just a case. It is the actual Halloween score on cassette tape.
So back in the olden days, you used to be able to put that into your car or your little, what was that thing called?
A cassette player?
That you could like put on the side of you, like
a Walkman.
Yeah, a Walkman.
I can't
even remember.
My favorite thing in my physical media collection that I have, and people might look at this and be like, "Really, this is your favorite?" This was sent to me by a good friend that worked on the set of the Amityville Horror remake, and this is the Lutz family jacket. And on the back it says, "The Amityville Horror 2004."
No way.
In the jacket. Yeah. So this was one of the props that they actually used on the set of Amityville Horror. And a friend of ours that worked on that set knew that Ash and I were huge fans of that movie. And they were like, hey, I got a really cool gift to send you guys. What's your address? You know, He's like, I don't want to tell you what it is. I just want to surprise you with it.
Mm-hmm.
And we got it. And I was like, dude, are you fucking serious? Like, why?
Yeah.
He's like, because I know how much. He's like, I have the memories. I lived it. You know, I was there. He's like, but I feel like this is something that you guys would really, really love. So
awesome.
That was one that I was like, dude, I'll cherish this thing forever. Like, this is so dope. Because we both love the Amityville remake.
We do.
That's so yeah, I just watched it recently because it came out in 4K from Scream Factory, and so I really like that remake. And so that's pretty badass, man, that you got that jacket. Holy cow.
Like you want to show your 3 that you brought to the party?
Yeah. Are we showing our things?
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Why not?
Okay. So I have this unhealthy obsession with Hocus Pocus. And I have the entire screenplay of Hocus Pocus that was signed by the entire cast. This is one of my favorite things that I have. Ken actually got this for me for my birthday.
Yeah, pretty recent, right? If I remember right? Yeah.
But it is the actual one of yeah, it says down here, Wednesday, May 13th, 1992.
Yeah, and then it has the entire
script in here. Yeah, this was a lot of fun to be able to find. I was so happy that I was able to find this for her.
Yeah, I was blown away.
Yeah, so that was
a cool birthday present. And then I also have a picture of them signed by the witches.
Nice.
Yes. And then so my favorite horror movie all time is The People Under the Stairs, and I have the old poster.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thanks, Raven.
Thank you, Raven. Yeah, she gave this to me at Horror Hound, and that goes up it'll be up in our studio when we get it up.
Okay.
Again.
Just recently, are you talking about the Horror Hound you just attended?
No, this was
like
a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
It was like our first one we went to. Yeah.
And then what's really cool is like the Hocus Pocus screenplay. We actually got the COA for it, the Certificate of Authenticity.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not like I just printed a script and wrote a bunch of scribbles on it. Like this shit has been certified. So yeah, it's definitely genuine. It's definitely legit. And as somebody that's a huge collector of baseball cards too, that's something I always look for is the Certificate of Authenticity. Because it doesn't take a lot to just sign on a piece of, you know what I mean? Like, and make it look. But yeah, this is signed by the whole cast, and I love looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
That's just so cool. If 14-year-old me could see this shit, he'd be like, "Are you kidding me?"
Do you guys, because you're such, big film and horror fans, do you guys collect, at least own that pieces of movies in your, like, the physical possession of it? Like
Oh yeah, we definitely own a bunch of Blu-rays, DVDs, VHS. Like, we still watch Alien on VHS. I feel like that's a movie that needs to be watched on VHS.
I just put all of our movies away when we moved. I had to take them all out.
Yeah, one of the big reasons we don't have any Blu-rays or 4Ks with us right now is because they're still not in order. And so
he literally, like, he is not.
I'm not anal about anything.
Nothing except for like movies and like his.
It's got to go DVDs first, then Blu-rays. They got to be in alphabetical order with numbers starting first. Like 1408 will be my first one up there.
I just wish you. I wish you were like that with other things too.
Nope, don't care.
He doesn't. He could care less.
But when I look at my DVD case, I'm always like, something's missing from the C's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know exactly where everything is.
Yeah.
I used to be like that when back in the day when we had CDs, we'd have like a CD case. I used to be like that with that too.
Mm-hmm.
My CDs always had to be in a certain order. Like, it would go by order of band and like by their record. You know what I mean? Like, so like Coheed, it would go Second Stage, In Keeping Secrets, Good Apollo 1, Good Apollo 2. Like, it would go right in the order of when the albums came out. I think that's my spectrum thing that I have.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm really, really anal about that stuff. My OCD kicks in really bad when it comes to like looking at that stuff.
Yeah.
Was there a person that kind of influenced you into becoming like collectors? Because you guys have a lot of memorabilia stuff. I mean, look at behind you as well.
I think the big thing, I've always been a collector.
Yeah, I just love like going to like look at things and like seeing all even at like Horror Hound when they have like all the different vendors and stuff.
So good.
And yeah, I think
Well,
it's awesome.
Growing up, like I said, I grew up in a video store, and like downtown video was the video store, and right next door was Tim's Cards and Comics. My cousin Tim owned a card and comic shop. And for those that don't know, I am a huge baseball fan. Huge baseball fan. And I collect baseball cards. I've collected baseball cards my whole life. So collecting is just kind of something that I've always done. Like I remember like trading Pogs in school. And,
baby, slammers and
baby.
Yeah.
You know, and so I've always been a collector. WWE action figures when I was a kid. I was a huge, you know, I would fucking play the WWE The Music Volume 1, and I'd walk my characters down to the ring, and I'd get them in there. Like
we literally still have like
I still have the Intercontinental Championship.
Like all the like
the
styrofoam like belts. Like
yeah,
I was just unpacking them.
Oh my god, guys, that's
like, awesome. I throw these away. I was like, if you throw those away, I will stone cold start you into the stratosphere. I swear to God.
Well, I mean, they were packed away in the closet for so long. I was like, maybe you don't want these anymore.
I still
clearly I was wrong.
I'm so like anal with those things. I still have the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase's money belt. Like I even got that thing, man. Like you know, WWE wrestling for me, especially when I was a kid, I still love it. You know, like we still do watch-alongs on it. Me and my son took a trip to Florida in January. We went to the Royal Rumble.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it was dope. It's like super dope. I got to take my son to a Royal Rumble. Like it was so sick.
Right.
So like I said, like collecting has just kind of always been something that I've done, whether it be baseball cards, Pogs, wrestling action figures, comic books. Yeah. My girls are getting into comic books now, so I've been letting them go through my long boxes and pick out comics that they want to read. So yeah, it's just collecting.
I'm a collector too, but you call me a pack rat when I collect things.
Yeah,
he does.
But she collects dumb things like our kids' teeth and their memories. Stuff like that. You know, like
no. Do you know how much Hocus Pocus shit I have?
She does have a lot of Hocus Pocus stuff.
So much.
So our wedding anniversary is October 20th. So our wedding anniversary is right by Halloween. So every year, I mean, you guys can call me lame because I do the same thing every year, but I get her a Halloween box every year.
A boo basket.
Yeah, a boo basket. And
I look forward to that. That's like my favorite
fill it up with like Hocus Pocus stuff, Halloween stuff, trick or treat stuff. And like I just get her this big old basket full of Halloween stuff because that's the perfect time of year to go and get these type of things. So like I said, I'm pretty predictable, man. Valentine's Day.
I'm good with it. I'm literally like taking pictures of stuff like I don't have this yet.
Like I said, Valentine's Day, anniversary, like you know what you're gonna get from me.
Yeah,
like,
I'm good with it.
Every year on Valentine's Day, she gets one of those comically oversized cards with a huge paragraph in there, like "Thank you for not leaving me yet."
Nice. I love. See, and that's what I love too. Little jokes like that. You've been with someone for a very long time. I've been with my wife we've been married for 12 years, been together for 15. Awesome. Like you just make that type of jokes, and that's just who you are. And it's like, that's fucking hilarious, man.
The amount of inside jokes we have with each other are just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we're
pretty good at like bouncing off of each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah. But and both of us are just like, our sense of humor is like so the same. That like we're both just kids. Like we are, even though like, we're old.
We're childish.
But we're so childish.
So childish.
Like there are so many sex jokes that are told in this house.
Yeah. Or just if someone says something,
we'll be like,
like the look. We'll give each other the look. Like we grandpa tonight.
Yeah. What did he say?
I don't know, but
we were driving and grandpa said something and I looked in the mirror like,
yeah, and I was laughing, and he had no idea.
Of course. So how did you guys become horror fans?
So actually I watched oh shit, no, I'm drawing a blank. Pet Sematary, yeah. When I was really young, like that was my first horror movie I watched was Pet Sematary, and Zelda gave me nightmares, and just the anxiety I felt. I was like, I really like that.
Yeah,
I like
got
that feeling.
Oh, dude, I have the right there.
Yeah.
That movie is just so like, oh my god.
I remember watching, and me and my little brother, and he was even younger than I was. And I think it went differently because he doesn't really care about horror, and I'm like obsessed with it. So
Mhm.
I was just like, I love the feeling of the anxiety and just like being scared. And like ever since then, I've just been obsessed with it.
Yeah.
Mhm. What about you, bud?
I started. My grandma got tired of watching Thundercats,
What's wrong with
and
that?
oh, nothing. But totally off topic. The first time I ever got my mouth washed out with soap.
Oh gosh,
I'm dead serious.
I know you are.
Snarf, Snarf. You remember Snarf from Thundercats?
God, I can't remember. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank.
The little annoying little thing. Snarf, Snarf, Snarf.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
I was with my grandma and we were watching Thundercats, and I was like, "Grandma, Snarf's an asshole." Because that's all a little annoying asshole is what I said. I was like, "Grandma, Snarf's an annoying asshole." And I got my mouth washed out with soap. I was like, "Damn, fuck you, Snarf." But yeah, it was it was funny because she was like, "Hey, let's pick out another movie to watch," and the movie we ended up picking out was House, 1985, 1986, however you want to, word it. The movie was released in February of 86. I just want to throw that out there. But everybody calls it House 1985, and I fell in love. Like I fell in love. It's still my favorite horror movie to this day. And I just knew at that moment that I loved that feeling that gave me. And I just never went back, and YouTube for us as kids was walking up and down the horror aisle, looking at the covers,
at
trying to decide at Downtown Video.
I didn't know Downtown Video.
Which I know that's why we're not in business anymore, you dick.
I went to Blockbuster instead because they had the candy too. Did you guys sell candy?
We had popcorn.
You had popcorn?
Yeah, we had popcorn.
Like a popcorn machine?
A popcorn machine.
Oh wow.
That's why
I should have came and visited you guys.
See, whenever I talk about going to the video store and smelling popcorn, people are like, "What?" The smell of popcorn makes me think of being in the video store now. But yeah, it was just it was crazy, and I just never stopped after that. Like I was just hooked, hook, line, and sinker into horror at that moment, and it never went back.
Kind of answered the question a little bit, but how has the horror genre impacted you as a person, and in possible maybe other ways as well?
You answer this.
Horror has made me, now I can't say horror. I was very lucky to have the grandmother and mother that I had at the time. They educated me on the difference between what is real, what is not, what is fantasy, what is reality. So I've always said that as long as you let your kids watch horror and you educate them, especially nowadays, it's really, really cool to watch a horror movie with your kids and then go in and watch the special features. Let your kids watch the behind the scenes. Let them see how it was made so they can understand these are real people. This isn't, I was lucky enough to be in a couple films, and one of the films I was in was The Bride of the Killer Piñata. And in that film, I get my face ripped off. And I got to bring that home with me. And my daughter got to see, she hasn't seen the whole film yet because she's
not going to see that whole film.
No, because I also,
no.
Well, I also get my penis ripped off too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
She doesn't need to see all that. No.
How much Daddy's penis get ripped off?
Watch Daddy's cookie get ripped off.
Grab some popcorn.
Come on, it's a family affair.
She's seen the face. She hasn't seen the rest. But
thank God.
Yeah, and she's not gonna. Like that's too far for me. If it was not Dad, you know what I mean? She doesn't need to see that with Dad.
No, not with any. No, for a long time.
No, especially at 4. No.
Yeah, no.
Which is weird.
We can watch.
They can watch my face get ripped off, but not my dick. I know it's weird. But I was able to bring it home and show them, like, this is what Daddy did. This is the makeup that Daddy put on to make this happen. And that makes kids understand. and I've always said I feel like kids are more grounded in reality if they watch horror, and they get education to go along with it to teach them right from wrong.
Mhm.
This is what horror is, but it's not real. If you really hurt somebody, that's permanent. You can't
Mhm.
rewind it. You can't go to a special feature and undo it. That's real, and these movies are not. They're entertainment. They're to scare you and give you that feeling of a roller coaster, to
Mhm.
give you the feeling of a haunted house. But in the best way, because you're at home and you have your dad and your mom right here to protect you. So I just feel like horror to me has made me a more grounded person, honestly.
Yeah. Horror just, it's like, it reminds me of just like my family, and like we've always, that's always something that I bonded on. Like I love Halloween 1978. Well, Halloween in general.
It's too late to talk about this movie. I'm gonna fall asleep.
You're gonna get punched in the side is what you're gonna get. I'm gonna put the Halloween mask on.
I'm really gonna fall asleep.
Yeah.
Good.
Watch out for that penis.
Yeah. Too bad we didn't have that aesthetic.
If I had a nickel for every time I said that to her.
For real. Anyways, Halloween 1978, Ken, is I used to watch it with my dad when he was still alive, and like he used to dress up like Michael and would go around town and like look in like the subway window, like people would be sitting there eating their sandwich, and he would just be like,
Randy would be sitting there with his Michael. It was so dope.
Have you ever seen the guy that dressed up like Michael and like rides his bike and stuff like that? That was my dad a long time ago.
Yes.
And it's special to me. And just like Halloween in general, our whole entire town comes to my grandparents' house for trunk or treating, because
every Halloween,
we all of my family, we decorate our trunks, and
we have contests,
and we grill up hot dogs and chips and drinks, and
we don't grill out chips and the drinks, but
for everybody. And just
the whole
Halloween,
town comes.
Literally the whole town comes
the whole town comes to the Frank Austin trunk or treat. Ashley's grandfather passed away a couple years ago,
and they just started doing this in his memory, because when he was alive, he would literally go and buy like industrial sized bags of candy every year to pass out to kids, because like
Frank loved Halloween.
Halloween and horror have always been so special. And I used to go with my friends and watch horror in the theaters, and just like when I think about it, it's just the nostalgia and just the good feeling.
Really quick, because what helped me really enjoy the horror genre when I was a kid was those damn cartoons and TV shows. What was like my favorite was Beetlejuice, and I remember even when I was older was Ghost Rider on OPB or PBS nationally. But so for you guys, what's your favorite cartoon or TV series as a kid?
All right, Beetlejuice would be up there. Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, Scooby-Doo would be a good one.
Another big one. Goosebumps.
I liked Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. I would probably have to put Goosebumps at the top of the list. I really did love the Goosebumps TV show. Are You Afraid of the Dark was dope though too. The X-Files. I've always thought the X-Files had a type of horror element to it. Tales from the Crypt was another one. That I really loved growing up. Like we would stay up late at my Aunt Dawn's house to watch it on HBO, when we were kids.
One of my favorite memories is was it Tales from the Dark Side? I think it was the one that had that creepy intro with the family that was like really deformed, and it had like the creepy music, but I thought it was on HBO as well. That like brought me back when you said that, like that brought me back with my dad.
See,
watching
core horror memories, man.
Dude, oh my gosh, dude, I just love it. So you already mentioned so Ashley, you said your favorite horror movie is People Under the Stairs. Ken, you said that your favorite movie is House. What is your favorite horror genre, and what is your favorite movie within that genre?
I feel like I love psychological horror. Like I think that is up there, but I also like slashers too. Like it's like kind of neck and neck to me. Oh shit, what's like my brain is with Adam and all, like where you figure out he's like the god hand killer. What is that
Oh,
movie?
Frailty.
Frailty. Yes.
Oh, Frailty.
Psychological. Yes.
Mhm.
Frailty is probably my favorite in like the psychological horror aspect.
Mine is good. See, I'm with Ashley. Like, horror comedy is huge to me, and
Yeah.
House would be that. But if I
Mhm.
couldn't choose House, it'd probably be Shaun of the Dead. And then I like possession horror movies, like religious horror movies, and The Dark and the Wicked would be my favorite. in
Yeah,
that.
boy.
Yeah, I fucking. I'm sorry. I love The Dark and the Wicked. I think that it's such an underrated gem, and I really wish I could have gotten the chance to see that in the movie theater.
I don't think it was because it was under
it was
it was
Shudder.
It was
pandemic.
Shudder,
Yeah.
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 But I would say that because I've been trying to preach this a lot lately. My favorite horror movie, if I can't pick House, my favorite horror movie is Summer of '84.
Yeah. that
Yeah,
is a
which you
fun
mentioned that
one.
before, and that surprised me
Yeah.
because we talked about it during your stream and stuff. But like, yeah, I mean that's a modern horror classic, and
I
and
love
and
that movie, man.
yeah.
Like
It feels it even though it's like modern, like it feels like a nostalgic like type movie
Mhm.
that
what I love about this movie is it takes place in the '80s.
yeah, but it's not
It
like,
doesn't beat you over the head with the fact that it's in the '80s.
Mhm,
You know what I
mhm.
mean? Like it's not constantly you're not constantly hearing songs and commercials and billboards. Like
yeah.
it just takes place in the '80s. That's it. That's the biggest thing about it. And
But you get the feeling of the 80s.
Sure,
You know,
sure,
they're
but
not
you're
on
not-
cell phones or
Right.
out riding their bikes to the bowling alley, the music, like
yes,
it's
the
so
Polybius
nostalgic, like,
arcade
yeah.
cartridge in the
I
background.
knew nothing about that, but you pointed that out.
I
to
did
me.
mark out with that. I was
Yeah.
like, that's Polybius, no fucking way.
I was like, I have no
thought that
idea
was
what you're
cool.
talking about, but
Yeah. Well, kind of talked about it, maybe a little bit, but what little Mount Rushmore questions is who are your top 4 horror villains?
top 4.
Now, this is just our opinion, who our 4 favorites
Yeah,
are.
of course.
Right?
Yeah.
If we're not counting the franchises, if I'm counting just the villains,
Just the villain.
yep,
Just
my
the villain.
top 4 would be Pinhead, Chucky, Jason, and I'm gonna throw a huge curveball at you guys here. Rose the Hat.
Rose the Hat from Dr. Sleep? Oh,
Rose the Hat. Would be my
really? That is a
I-
curveball.
Dr. Sleep is, in my opinion, the best horror sequel of all time. I put it above Aliens. I put it above Terminator 2. I put it above Evil Dead 2. I think that Dr. Sleep is my favorite direct sequel of all time. And I think it's super underrated. I think Mike Flanagan absolutely demolished this. Abra's fucking fantastic. And Rose the Hat is so beautiful and so smart and so evil and so persuasive. Like she's just the perfect female villain to me. And so I would have to have Rose the Hat up on my personal Mount Rushmore. It's hard to leave Freddy off. Like Freddy's
in my 4.
Yeah, Freddy's hard for me, but Pinhead, I think, is just like there's something. And again, if we were going by franchises, Pinhead would be nowhere near the fucking list.
No, not even franchise, just
like,
the villain.
I think he's the most badass villain of all time. He won my very first ever episode of Maniac Madness we did.
Yeah.
Pinhead came out on top for me.
Rose the Hat won it for me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So mine would be Freddy, Chucky. I feel like I have to have Rose the Hat in there too, and obviously Michael.
So pretty much yours is mine, except for you got Freddy instead of Pinhead,
Yeah.
and you got Michael instead of Jason,
Yeah.
and then Chucky and
Yeah.
Rose the Hat.
That's
That's a great list.
Good.
And they're all horror icons.
mhm.
So
out of all the horror villains, which one were you frightened the most as a kid?
the tall man,
Michael Myers.
Phantasm.
And you can say he's boring or whatever you always have some negative comment about, but literally he's just this man that is killing for no other reason than he is evil.
Yeah, he's killing with narcolepsy because every time you talk about him, I feel like I want to fall asleep.
Oh, I hope you just fall asleep and smack your head.
The tall man from Phantasm. That was the scariest villain to me as a kid.
Because he says, boy.
And he looks like my
Your
grandpa.
Bill. I could just see your grandpa being like, boy, when you were a kid. I feel like that's a memory. That's why it's so scary.
It's a core memory to me. You said Grandpa Bill, but I think you meant Grandpa Ken.
No, he reminds me of Grandpa Bill, even though he's tall.
Yeah, no.
Like he's way taller than Grandpa Bill in the face. Definitely reminds me of Grandpa Bill.
But yeah, he that was the scariest one to me, was definitely the tall man. Like he did something fierce to my childhood, man. Like he scared me bad as a kid.
Love it.
It was to be afraid to get spanked by Grandpa.
Yeah,
Grandpa tall man.
Fear in my fucking head. That's the reason that scared me so bad as a kid, because like we watch movies, we see people get blown away, we see people die, we see blood and all that. But when that happened to that guy, like he pissed himself too. So it made it seem even more real that you see all the blood and the piss and everything. Like,
yeah,
that shit scared me, man. Like the first Phantasm the first 3 Phantasms are so good. Mm-hmm. So good.
I was kind of late to that train, but I love them now. But yeah, I never gave them a chance because I thought it was more like Pinhead.
Yeah.
And
she's not a Hellraiser fan.
I'm not a Hellraiser fan at all. And so that's kind of where I put them together, and I love them.
Yeah.
What are yours? You'll do each, of course. Top 4 horror movies.
Top 4 horror.
So I already know one of them from each.
So number 1 would be People Under the Stairs, Halloween 78, Bride of Chucky, and yeah, that's my favorite franchise because everything's better with The Bride. I mean, right, Pen? Right?
100%.
And can I say Hocus Pocus, even though it's
it's horror.
Yeah,
it's witches trying to eat kids. Come on, it's fucking horror.
It's horror adjacent for sure.
I'm gonna say House. Obviously, Summer of '84 is gonna be up there. 8 favorites, man. Like
I know it's so hard to like say that. They're all my favorites.
Yeah. Child's Play 3 is always floating around up there.
That's funny that both of you got Chucky.
Oh,
that's something we actually agree on. Is we both
that's
love
my favorite.
We love Child's Play franchise.
That's my favorite horror franchise. Yeah. Is Child's Play.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a good number 4.
Halloween H2O
no.
Resurrection.
Come on.
Halloween.
I think something's up with my connection, guys. I don't know. I gotta go.
You know what? I'm gonna say here we go. House.
If you
Summer of '84.
No, hell, I'm leaving.
No. House. Okay. Summer of '84. The Dark and the Wicked, and Tales from the Hood.
All right.
I'll accept
your list.
Yes.
Okay.
I love Tales from the Hood. We talk about the most scared I've ever been from a movie. It's that one.
Really? What scene?
Oh, dude, the end. This ain't no funeral home.
Yeah.
Dude, that moment. I watched this movie when I was probably 6. So to see him turn in, and I grew up in a religious house, a religious upbringing.
Yeah.
To see him turn into Satan and see those guys burning, and just the welcome.
Yeah.
Hell, I was just like, oh shit. Like,
yeah,
that's not good. Like,
he's a great actor too.
Oh,
yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
Dude. What is, for new horror fans, what is one horror film that you would recommend?
Just
see, now I would have to gauge this whole, like, how deep they're trying to get into it.
Throw them right into it. Saw. We're starting off with gore. Let's get the gore.
I would say, honestly, if it's somebody that was older that just never really got into horror, I would say like maybe like The Gate or Monster Squad.
Good intro. Okay.
Yeah. Like something like that. If it's a younger kid, I would, like with our kids, we kind of started with like Scooby-Doo, Hocus Pocus, Casper the Friendly Ghost.
Yeah.
I feel like gateway horror is still horror. It may even go as far as like Megan, Abigail.
Megan's a good one. Lisa Frankenstein.
Lisa Frankenstein.
I love that.
Is a great one. You know, so but if it's somebody that's like, I want to go in, I want to see something that's going to really, really just scare
Like
the shit out of me. The Dark and the Wicked is one I would throw
I
with
feel
them.
like I don't know that like a non-horror fan would like perceive it
Because it's such a slow burn.
Yeah.
I love it, man. Oh my gosh.
I know. Dead Silence might be another one. If
Oh,
trying
Dead
to be
Silence,
really scared.
that's a good one. Yeah.
One of the worst marketed movies of all time. Yeah, Dead Silence would probably be the one. Because everybody was like, I'm not watching the movie about ventriloquist dolls. I was like, you're right. You obviously haven't seen it because that's not about what it's about.
From Goosebumps.
Yeah,
it looks like Slappy.
Slappy the dummy.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's definitely not.
The
and
dummy
Mary Shaw is frightening.
Yeah. Oh God. Beware the stare of Mary Shaw, baby.
Heck yeah.
You know what? I'm still gonna ask it. Nothing crazy or anything. But because I've been doing all these favorites and stuff. But I really want to know. So from 2010 to now, top 5. Or no, let's do 3. Top 3.
From 2010 to now.
Yeah, top 3. Your favorites.
The Dark and the Wicked.
Yes.
Summer of '84. Insidious Chapter 2.
Really?
Yeah.
Chapter 2?
Yeah. Insidious Chapter 2 has one of the most tense moments in that whole franchise. You know, when he has the dice.
Yeah.
And he's like, what does Parker Crane have behind his back? And he drops the dice and it says knife. And you see Josh, his face just go to that evil, and then he pulls the knife out. Like, oh, that whole scene is so good. So damn good. And go back and rewatch it, guys. Jenna Ortega is the little girl at the end of Insidious Chapter 2.
She is. She is.
When they go to the house. That's Jenna Ortega at the end of that movie.
Wow.
So a young little Jenna Ortega was in Insidious Chapter 2.
I'm gonna say Insidious, just the first one.
The first one.
I love the first one.
I bet my number 4 is going to be on your. Hold on, don't say it yet, because I think it's going to be on your list. I'm going to type it and see if I'm right.
Your number 4.
Well, what would have been my number 4? We just did our top 3 of the 2010s.
Yeah.
What would have been my number 4? I'm going to type it out and see if you put it on your list.
Okay.
So you have Insidious.
Insidious. Yeah. I'm trying to think. My brain is like fried. What do you think? What do you think it is? Just show me.
No, because then you're gonna say it.
I want to see what it is. I need some help. Give me a lifeline here. Oh, yeah, The Cabin in the Woods. That's a good one. Yeah.
Cabin in the
Woods. What else is some movies? Some recent movies.
Honestly, I'm surprised that you didn't say Lisa Frankenstein.
I did love I don't know if I like Lisa more or Abigail more. I'll say Abigail. Yeah. Okay. There we
go. One thing that I wanted to talk about, because you guys are very knowledgeable with the horror genre, is that I think the horror genre doesn't get enough credit for having varying layers of like social commentary elements, such as like Invisible Man with domestic violence, Hereditary, fractured family dynamic, Parasite, economic status, Get Out, racial intolerance. Candyman kind of blends in a little bit of the both. Why do you fucking think that, man? Like, it just doesn't get enough credit within, like, for us horror fans, we know how these stories that these people are telling within the movie are impactful, at least to us, and like we can relate to some of them. But like with that outside of our like niche kind of like group, like people just don't, they think of like horror genre as like simple story, simple kills, whatever, but like it's more of a complex story, or at least there's movies like that.
Horror's woke.
It's woke.
Yeah, it's woke.
So, oh my gosh, I hate that
word.
You
know,
lazy ass term.
It's like Phantom of the Opera, 1938. Like, shut the fuck up, man. Fucking so stupid. I hate that, dude. Like when people say that horror is woke, I genuinely get offended by that.
Yeah.
No shit.
Because horror has always been about social commentary, and that's what makes horror. I think the scariest horror movies are movies that you can watch and you feel some type of relativity to. That to me, when they bring that social commentary into it, and it's something that you've experienced, or you know somebody that's experienced this type of social commentary, that's what makes horror. It's supposed to make you uncomfortable. And I think that's why people that don't understand that, I think they don't want to, because
Well, I just think that they see it as,
taboo.
These people are evil. They're just killing for the fun of it. They don't
Yeah.
see the message behind it. It's not just a comedy. It's not just a love story. It's so much more than that.
One of my favorite movies, Tales from the Hood. Could you imagine if that came out today?
No.
What people would say about that?
Oh my gosh.
They would say it's woke for sure.
Yeah.
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 The shit has always been happening. It's just under a microscope now because we have social media and you can find out about it in 5 minutes after it happens.
Yeah.
People have always been shitbags.
Yeah. They're
always. Hitler killed how many people? Like, come on, man. Like, the world's no different now. It's just you can understand it now because you have social media to hear every bad story that ever happens.
Mm-hmm.
And like the new Candyman, Nia DaCosta's Candyman. Like, people were like,
Mhm.
"Oh, that's woke." I'm like, "Have you seen the
Dude.
first one?
right.
Like, what are you talking about? Like,
Mhm.
it's literally the basis of the first one." But yeah, social commentary to me is super important in horror because I think that's what makes horror is being able to make you uncomfortable because of things that make you uncomfortable in real life.
Yeah.
Racism.
Outside of someone getting stabbed to death or
Right.
in a saw trap. Like, this is real life shit. That
Racism, classism, stuff that we've all experienced. Now me as a straight white guy, I can't say I've faced much racism in my life, but I do have empathy.
Yeah.
As a human being.
Mhm.
And classism, stuff like that. Like, we've experienced bad things like that. And that's scary when you have to watch other people go through that. And you have that, because if you have empathy in your body, you have that secondhand sadness for them. You have that rebounding, terrible feeling in the pit of your stomach for what someone else is going through. The best horror is what makes you uncomfortable to me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. That's perfectly said, man. Without a doubt. Yep. What do you think of the current state of the horror genre?
Amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it's just going up every year. I'm like, I'm not sure we can top this
Last
year.
year was such a great year for horror. 2022 was an insane year for horror. Insane year for horror. 2024 started off kind of slow.
I feel like it always does. January horror is always like.
This year it was like January, February, March. We were like,
yeah.
But I mean, we've gotten some good horror.
No more night swims.
We've gotten some good stuff.
Abigail, Lisa Frankenstein, Trap. Yes, Trap is.
I loved Trap too. Like, you are not.
Yeah,
you're not the only one.
Let me see what some of these other ones that we've gotten this year. Late Night with the Devil was another great one. Lovely, Dark, and Deep, Immaculate. We got In a Violent Nature this year.
There's that. So, anyways, I guess horror does suck this year.
The More. I really enjoyed The More.
Mm-hmm.
Sting, Maxine.
There's always going to be like your remakes and stuff like that, but I feel like we're getting a lot of like original horror, which is awesome too. So
yeah,
that's one thing I've noticed too within the past couple of years. It kind of seems like that, which is good. We need that originality. We need
absolutely.
That. Yeah.
Look at what Terrifier did. They're on Terrifier 3, but what we consider the fourth installment of the franchise, if you count
Hallows Eve.
Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
And look at what that did. Look at Smile, another great original horror movie.
Yeah.
And we're getting a sequel for that. Maxine, the X trilogy. We're getting sequels, but we're also getting sequels to movies that are just happening.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sure, we're getting the Halloween Ends movie. We're getting.
Oh yeah, roll your eyes.
No, I'm just saying, you're getting Scream 6, Scream 7.
Yeah.
They are continuing old franchises.
You're always gonna get that though, because
like this year we're getting a Wolfman remake, a Nosferatu remake that I'm so stoked for.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The American Speak No Evil was so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're still getting remakes and sequels that are still worth seeing.
I'm surprised that the American version of Speak No Evil was good. Like, I
like it.
I was shocked.
I like it better than the Danish one.
I'm not saying anything.
No, I think I just think that the Danish one is the better made movie. You'll never hear me argue that.
It definitely makes you think
I never want to watch it again. I never want to feel that way again. I'll watch The American Speak No Evil again.
It did something. It
made
you uncomfortable.
It still made it its own.
Yes.
But like the Danish Speak No Evil is a superior film, sure. But when it comes to what I would like to rewatch again, I'll never watch it again. I have no desire to ever see that film again. It wrecked me.
Yeah. Did you read the interview with the director?
Yeah. How he was kind of bummed about America sanitizing his ending.
But
because we kind of did screw up everything that he was. Well, not us, but America. What he was trying to do.
At the same time, if it would have been a beat by beat remake, he'd have been like, they should have came up with an original idea. You know, like they were kind of in a lose-lose in that situation. And
he was just like, don't copy my shit.
Yeah. And I like the ending in this one. I still think that this movie made you uncomfortable and it made you pissed off.
There were some scenes that made me, I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah. So, but like I said, the remakes and sequels we're getting now, we're getting where, and what I love about the Speak No Evil American remake, I can't tell you how many people have gone back and rewatched the Danish one because they had never seen it.
Yeah.
Regular, people that don't watch, I hate saying regular people.
Those
normies.
Yeah.
Normies that never heard of the Danish Speak No Evil are going to watch it. Or even horror fans that were like, oh, it's a foreign film. I don't want to watch it because they're subtitled. They didn't know it was 98% in English.
Right.
So like this remake has guided people back to the original. And I love that.
I think, because you already touched upon it earlier. So you said that the movie that you're looking forward to, the horror movie that you're looking forward to this year is Nosferatu. What about you, Ashley? Or sorry, Ken, was that your movie? Like, was that
you're looking forward
to? That Terrifier 3.
That's mine. Terrifier 3. I'm super stoked about it. I love gore and Terrifier 3. Well, the second one, all of them. Shit, they're so gory. Like, and I'm here for it. Like, I can't wait. I'm excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
So we're almost done. What is the best advice someone has given you for you as a content creator?
Be original. Keep plugging away.
Yeah, don't
buy one of these so your audio sounds better.
We did get that, but no, more like it's not easy, and if you don't get discouraged, if your stuff isn't getting seen, and you just have to keep doing it, keep going.
The best advice that I've heard about YouTube, it's secondhand advice. Tony Todd said to James and Chelsea from Dead Meat, and James and Chelsea said to Ken and Ashley from Sledgehammer Horror, I hope that you do YouTube as long as you're enjoying it.
As long as it makes you happy.
Yeah, as long as it makes you happy.
Yeah.
I hope you don't get to the point to where it job,
feels like a job
or a chore. I hope you do it as long as it makes you happy.
Right.
And it resonated when they said that.
That's great advice.
That's the best thing. If you get into YouTube because you want to make money, you're not going to last.
This isn't.
You're not going to last here.
But if you want to get into YouTube and
share your passion and meet new people,
then it's for you.
And you know what? Like, if we never made another dollar with Sledgehammer Horror, we would keep going forever. The community that we've made, I don't want to say that. That sounds really shitty to say the community we made. That's not what I mean. But the people that watch Sledgehammer Horror and that join us live and chat with us.
The community that we have built, there's
the community built around Sledgehammer Horror. I hate putting us up on this godlike pedestal. The community we've built. That's not what I mean. But the community of people that come and watch and listen and interact, like the best, man. Like it's just that we've made so many good friends and met so many great people, and I love them, all of them. Everybody that comes to the channel. I feel like like Anakin's got all of them, not just the men and women, but the children too. I feel like
dark.
But yeah, it's I love every single person that comes to Sledgehammer Horror to talk, or people that DM us like, hey, I'm having a really bad day. Would it be okay to talk to you guys for a minute? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Tell us what's wrong.
Yeah.
You know, we have people that call us the mom and dad of the horror community, and that is the biggest like honor.
Mhm.
You know, that you can come to us and talk to us if you need something.
Mhm.
You know that if you're having a bad day and you need an ear or a shoulder, Ashley and I are there.
Mhm.
Her DMs are open. My DMs are open. I love the fact that people know they can reach out and just talk. Hey, I need to talk. And sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger
Mhm.
than it is to a family member because you feel like you're being judged by someone that knows you.
Mhm.
We're all about mental health, and we've always been very, very open with the fact that as long as you're appropriate with us, our DMs are open. We're willing to listen.
Mhm. No dick pics.
She'll rip him.
Some exceptions can be made. I just want to say that.
Not my DMs.
There are James McAvoy, if you're listening.
All right. I guess my DMs are
I would be fine with that. I just want to throw that out there, James.
Oh my God.
I know how much you watch Frank's Media and Reviews.
But
So.
Yeah, thanks.
right?
It does.
Yeah.
Mine's just mine looks like his, except for the baby version. No, mine's the baby version.
Okay.
It's fun size.
Yeah, mine's like I'm a real ball. Well, this went off the rails.
Oh my
It
God,
always
that's so
does.
You know, Ken's here because we got dick jokes.
Part of the dick joke.
But what did we say at the beginning? We're fucking kids. We
Yeah.
are children trapped in adult bodies. If we get the chance to make a small wiener joke, we're gonna make it. I'm like that guy in Scary Movie. Like it was cold in the showers, man.
Yeah. Or George Costanza. I was in the pool.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
That's great.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah, man. I mean, you touched upon it so much. I mean, I wanted to bring you guys on. One is because, love you guys, but two is that you guys have been so welcoming, not only to me, but just various people. And, I've just talked to people and your name always comes up as, you guys just bring people in. You guys have just a family-like welcome atmosphere to community that you've built, because that's something that I wanted to say. I didn't want to interrupt you, Ken, but like you did build that. Like you guys together have built that, and that's something to be proud of. And just accept it. Just accept it. Yeah. Of course.
Thank you. Like
that means a lot to us. It really does.
It like blows your mind to hear something like that, because we're just two kids from Michigan that love each other and love to talk to other people, and then to hear that we've made any type of impression on somebody it's epic.
It
man.
really
like,
is. Yeah.
That's like Avengers Assemble. Like that's the feeling I get, man. Like when I hear that we've made any type of impact on another human being's life.
Hammerhead.
Yeah, the Hammerheads Assemble. It's like it hurt. It like you feel it in your chest as well as your heart, man.
Yeah.
Like
it's really
if,
awesome.
if you ever get tired of that feeling, like I never stop getting nervous. My first horror movie I do, I'm nervous as shit until that camera starts rolling.
Yeah.
And like I said, we're 600 episodes in. I feel like it should always be that way. You should always love what you're doing, to the fact that where if you're talking to somebody, your nerves are shot.
Yeah. Thank you guys for so much for being on my channel, my interview.
Absolutely.
So thank you guys. Their links will be down in the description section. Thank you for hit that like and subscribe button, and thank you to all of my wonderful tier members. I really appreciate it. And yeah, guys, subscribe to Ashley and Ken's channel. So they're wonderful people, and thank you guys, and have a good one.